What a match there between Nigerians, Super Eagles versus Guinea-Bissau. Welcome you on the show, 360 Sports on Trust TV. Adeni Aji Shafe. When it comes to sport in Nigeria, a particular sport that is gaining momentum is called mixed martial arts. A lot of Nigerians are really into this sport over there in the United States of America, Europe, and even New Zealand. Israel Adesanya, the likes of Kamaru Usman, Sadiq, all doing well in the sport of mixed martial arts, the one they call UFC. But right now, federal government give nods as National Sports Federation. Right now, from now henceforth, they can now stand on their own as Mixed Martial Arts Federation of Nigeria. A good one there. At least they can stand on their own and have they have their own federation being run by themselves. Good one coming from the federal government. I have in the studio Emmanuel Fashimi. Emmanuel, we're having Mixed Martial Arts Federation in Nigeria.
Nice one from the federal government. The mixed martial art is one sport that actually gained popularity all over the world. And when you talk about the UFC, we have Nigerians who are actually doing well in that area, and it's only good that the federal government approves the federation. And another good side of it is that we are going to see the mixed martial arts event in the next National Sports Festival that will be coming up, and this will now give the opportunity for the federation to actually go out and harness talent and harness those young ones who actually wants to do well in this sport. And I'm happy for that. We have the likes of Kamaru Usman. You mentioned Israel Adesanya, who is doing well for himself in New Zealand, and it's good. Sometimes ago, I think that was last year or early this year, Kamaru Usman was in Nigeria to actually talk about this sport. And this time around, I think if we have the federation up and running, then competitions will be organized by them. People who are interested in the sport will also, because we'll have some boxers who want to switch over to
UFC or
mixed martial art. So I'm happy that the federal government have thought it wise to give the go-ahead to approve this federation, and kudos to them. Now the federation has been approved. Whoever that is coming should just hit the ground running. Let's have let this sport be an area that Nigeria will also dominate. He should go out there, look for expertise. We can invite Israel Adesanya, we can invite Kamaru Usman, we can invite a couple of other persons to actually come down and transform, and whatever they have, the idea and everything behind their success out there, they should bring it back home and help us. And I love what when Kamaru Usman came in, this is part of why he came to Nigeria, and now the federation has gotten that nod. And before he left, he said he's going to give support and whatever to this sport to see how it's going to grow in Nigeria. I think it's a wake-up call for other sports stakeholders to also support this federation, and then let's see how we can move it to enviable height, and then probably we'll start winning medals in the Olympics with these sports.
A lot of Nigerians are into mixed martial arts, and really they'll be very happy for the fact that they've given that particular nod to have their own federation coming from the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development. And right now, all the mixed martial arts out there, they can also emulate the likes of Israel Adesanya, Kamaru Usman, Sadiq, all are fighting to see how they can beat international stars. And really, they've been doing well when it comes to UFC, despite the recent losses from their fight. But still, they are still one of those faces that you can be reckoned with, or forces rather. But good one for Nigerians right now for the fact that UFC or mixed martial arts is here as a federation, and we can't wait to see that sport being organized, and also having different competitions coming up where you have both young ones out there going into it. Away from mixed martial arts, let's talk about AFCON 2025. Different countries are right now trying to see how they can get the hosting bid, or rather hosting right to be the host for 2025, because the 2025 Nations Cup is getting closer and closer. But the likes of Nigeria and Benin Republic, they put up a joint bid. And right now, AFCON 2025 hosting bid, CAF inspectors visit Nigeria and Benin Republic to actually check all the stadia in Nigeria and also the one in Benin Republic. We have about 5 they check here. They went around from MK Abiola Stadium to Akwa Ibom. That's Akwa Ibom Stadium in Uyo. They went to Kaduna. The one in Benin City, you understand? At least also the Teslim Balogun Stadium. Just going around to check how prepared are we alongside Benin Republic also, who are right now, they are joint bid. They have joint bid with Nigeria, Benin 2025, but they have a lot of other countries to fight with. Algeria, Morocco, they are also there. Zambia is also there.
From the first two countries that you mentioned, Morocco and Algeria, I think they are far ahead of both Nigeria and Benin Republic. But it now depends on who wants it more, who wants to host it more, who has that the economic power, the idea, and what are you offering? What people who are coming, what are they are not just coming to play football alone. They are coming for other side attraction. Yes, football is the main objective that they will be coming here, coming to Nigeria and Benin Republic for. But there are other things they will also come learn about the country. So how are we prepared facility wise? Are we there? If you look at MKO Abiola National Stadium here in Abuja, fine, it's a bit okay. It's still work in progress because they still have some finishing touches to do on the grass, especially the pitch. And then for Godswill International Stadium, I think that one is #1, stands ahead. And Teslim Balogun Stadium, that has had a new facelift and everything, I think is for now, because of the whole new facilities and how it has been refurbished, it's good. And then Bermudia Stadium in Benin. Yes, #1, when the National Sports Festival was hosted there, that was sometimes 2020, they actually upgraded that stadium and became a world class. Every facilities that was used for the National Sports Festival in Benin is still intact because the government, the state government, I think they signed a contract with one company to maintain it, and they have upheld that standard of maintenance of that. So that one is also good. And a couple of some of the other stadiums that we check. But if you look at Morocco and Algeria, these are strong nations that will compete for the hosting right. But overall, CAF has the final say. If they deem it fit to give it to Nigeria and Benin Republic, the last time we hosted any tournament was Nigeria and Ghana 2000. I question why we could host it. Why can't we just stand on our own and host? So I had to look at some other things that is involved in hosting a competition. I said, okay, maybe we are not there yet because right now our economy is not that balanced. Then we can say, okay, but I would have loved if Nigerian come out just the way we hosted Nigeria 99. That is the FIFA age grade competition. If we can stand on our own and host the AFCON 2025, it will be good. But co-hosting with Benin Republic is not out of place. It's not bad. Let's see what CAF will do. The inspectors have come. Whatever they see, they will take back and then they will make the. But my fear is those two countries, Morocco and Algeria.
Morocco and Algeria, they are well prepared. In fact, if you look at World Club World Cup that was hosted in Morocco, the whole world came there, all the clubs from each continent. And they saw what actually takes place in Morocco, how they hosted them, and everything went so right. And now you have Algeria also, they have all the stadia in place. They have everything it takes to be the host of 2025. It's going to be a big decision to take for CAF because they'll be considering, okay, Zambia, Algeria, Morocco, Nigeria, Benin Republic, who are we going to give it to? And if we check it by pass mark, per stadium,
those two,
you know where I'm tilting towards.
Yeah, so if you look, those two stands out already. Most usually Morocco, they've hosted the Women's Nations Cup. Now they've hosted the Club World Cup. They played the CAF Champions League for women. So I think facilities wise, Morocco stands out. And if you look at it, they still have an edge because of their exploits in World Cup. How they prepare themselves to get to the
name. Morocco
is still ringing bell. So Nigeria, the only country that I would say, though Nigeria also have that weight, that power to also pull strides and see how they can maybe struggle the hosting right from Morocco. But if CAF wants to be fair, I think they should look between Algeria Nigeria, Benin Republic, and Zambia. Morocco has hosted a lot of tournaments, so they should also move it away. And Algeria also, because Morocco and Algeria, they are the northern part of Africa, so they should also move attention to the West African side, or wherever, maybe
Southern Africa.
Southern Africa.
Zambia
So Zambia is among. So I think CAF should also put that into consideration and see how they can move it from North Africa.
AFCON 2025 will still be there. Really a big one for CAF. If they are to pick the host for this one, it's getting very, very dicey. Although they've been going around, they've been to Nigeria, Benin Republic to assess all the stadium put in place by these two countries having a joint bid for 2025 AFCON. It's going to be a big one there. We're waiting for CAF final announcement concerning the host for 2025 Africa Cup of Nations there. Now we go to boxing. Amir Khan actually retired from boxing, but right now the fight he had with again Kell Brooks is really haunting him, because right now British boxer Khan under 2-year ban over failed drug test. News came out from UK, United Kingdom anti-doping, saying, well, he actually tested positive to banned substances called Ostarine, and right now Amir Khan says, well, I've never doped in my life. What is happening? But at times you may not actually take it directly or inject it, but from the food or cream or soap or something, at least the substance
indirectly
come into your body one way or the other, indirectly or directly. But now he's saying, well, directly I've never injected anything against UCAD rules and regulation. But you gotta say, well, from the way it is, you are found wanting.
Well, what I've come to understand with UCAD, WADA, and every other agencies that are involved in anti-doping is that they don't want to take this excuse of there is no ignorance in law, and that is what they are really holding on to. At some point, let me quickly make this reference. At some point, there was a time, I think it was Kolo Toure. Kolo Toure was sanctioned for something that similar issue, and he said he mistakenly went to take the wife's drugs, and which actually Andre Onana actually has caused him some issues. And right now for American, he actually accepted that yes, he took it, but he never knew it was a banned substance. And I feel for him. I feel for this young man, a man who has won over 20 professional fights when he was still fighting. And if you look at it, like I mentioned, they don't really want to know whether you know or not, because these are some of the things that say, okay, don't do this, don't do that. That is why as an athlete, you need to be careful with what you take, either from food or from drinks or whatever, and so that it will not cause issue. That is why you need to watch yourself. But overall, I think he accepted that he took it, not the maybe he went there purposely and take the banned substance, but unknowingly to him, he never knew it was going to be going to be a case. Though the matter was judged before, they went to CAS, and CAS ruled in his favor, but UCAD has come out to reverse that decision, and now whatever is their decision, then he said he's ready to stand by it.
Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, right now, from the way it is, even though they earlier ruled towards American, but for UCAD, that is the United Kingdom Anti-Doping Agency, say, well, you have to go for that particular
punishment.
Yes, you have to go for it. Right now, he will be having suspension, even though he's retired. The suspension still stands. That's funny. He's retired from boxing.
So the suspension, that means
he's coming back.
He's not coming back. The only area the suspension will work now is that he will not be involved in any boxing related business or whatever, whether as a supporter or as a coach, agent. He's completely out. Though I feel for him. I feel for this young man, but I think he will get over it.
Young man, 35. He's not young.
He's still young.
But seriously, Amir Khan, fantastic boxer when he was fighting. He really did well fighting for Britain, and also getting a lot of accolades from the British there. But right now he's being under suspension or banned by UCAD for Ostarine, that's banned substance there. Now let's leave boxing as we talk about some football event that happened yesterday. Coppa Italia, we saw Juventus defeat it ended in a draw. That draw actually turned out to be a brawl there, because the two teams got red carded. You look at Lukaku after he scored that penalty, the celebration against the home team, and that got him a red card against Cuadrado. Both of them actually get booted out. You also look at the fact that it was turning into a fight, a big one between Juventus and Inter Milan, a big game that ended 1-1 there.
Yeah, for the first leg, it was a brawl. You know, whenever these two giants meet, they are the big boys when it comes to Italian football. Tempers always flare up, and you know how it is. But for yesterday, I think both players lost their cool, and I love what the referee did, giving them the marching order. They still have the reverse feature to come up, and Lukaku has come out to say he was abused racially because of his skin or whatever. This has always been an issue in Italian football. Remember, Obafemi Martins also faced racial abuse. So a couple of other players, even Mario Balotelli at some point. But overall, I think the players would have conducted themselves in an orderly manner. They should know that they are a role model to persons out there. But overall, that is the human side of the player. You cannot take. I've always said this. Yes, you cannot take the human side of the person away from him,
and that's actually making it natural at times because it's not planned.
It's not planned, because when this incident happens, you as a person you must react, and you just lost that control, and that was what happened yesterday. But overall, it was a good game, and then it ended 1-1. Then the reverse feature. Let's see what will happen. But for Lukaku and Cuadrado, I just feel for both players, because both of them are dark in color, and if you look at it,
fighting themselves
don't really worth it.
Well, we've been talking about Coppa Italia result, where really turned into a brawl between Lukaku and Cuadrado, both of them getting booted out in that particular encounter at the city of Turin, where Juventus held their own against Inter Milan 1-1 against the Nerazzurris there. Well, still talking about some matches, a big one yesterday between Chelsea and Liverpool. We look at Premier League result matches were played, but I think we're focusing on Chelsea-Liverpool. What happened? I still remember Yusuf Akugo was saying Chelsea will win that game, but it had to be FC Colette versus, okay, maybe I should keep that one. But really, Chelsea versus Liverpool ended 0-0, a stalemate. And remember, the first time they met, it also ended 0-0. And now you look at the result, although maybe before we come to Chelsea, you look at Leicester City, Aston Villa. Aston Villa defeating managerless Leicester 2-1. You have Leeds United. Leeds United 2-1 also against Nottingham Forest, and Bournemouth against Brighton ended up 2-0 in favor of Brighton, the BB teams. Then as it is right now, Leicester.
For Leicester City, it's a pity. It's a pity actually letting Brendan Rodgers go, and it's not Brendan Rodgers' fault. I would have, if I'm Brendan Rodgers, I love outspoken coaches, outspoken person. You don't do that with Conte. Conte would have gone to the media and exposed whatever he wants to expose. You know,
well, it's not every time you expose.
But the truth is, the young man that owns Leicester City now, after the father left the reins, the young man took over, and they sold players. If you look at the team, they sold most of their best legs, and they never recruited. Last season, they only bought one player. They only recruited just a player. I think that was a centre back. Then the other season, it was Soyuncu that they brought in. Which other player did they buy? They let one of their best goalkeeper, Schmeichel, to leave and go to Italy. So if you look at it, and they did not recruit, why wouldn't they have all these results? And now the hammer had to fall on Brendan Rodgers, and at some point, who was giving that back line a cover, started suffering injury. There was no depth in the team, so that is why they are suffering. But so the administrators also need to look inward. Okay, what have we not done right? That this Leicester City used to do well. They get players, but they did not sign. They did not do any business. So for letting Brendan Rodgers go, I think they will keep suffering, and probably if they are not lucky, they might go to relegation. And then for Chelsea, Liverpool, it was an uninteresting game last night, because both teams were just playing as if there was no spark of life. It was not like Chelsea, Liverpool games that you see 4 seasons, 3 seasons ago, 5 seasons ago, where you know these two guys are on each other's neck. One is on the 11th position, the other one is above, Liverpool is above Chelsea on the standings. But overall, see, they've met 23 times in, I think yesterday was 24 times in EPL. That is when it became the English Premier League. Now Liverpool have won 7 times, Chelsea winning 5, and yesterday making it the 12th draw between the two teams, and they just met in the Super Cup. If you look at the table right now, Liverpool is on the 8th position, while Chelsea remains on the 11th position. So, and from the start, they've had Chelsea 2 draws now, 1 lose, 2 win. So it's not really looking good for both teams. They just sack their coach, that is Graham Potter, and for Jurgen Klopp before this game, he said he's still a Liverpool manager because of his past record. Will the board be patient enough? I feel the board will be patient with him to see how this season pans out. They are not threatened. All they are looking for now is to get into that European position, either they play in the Europa League or whatever. But overall, I think Jurgen Klopp will still remember Liverpool coach at the end of the season.
Well, from the way it is, Chelsea and Liverpool had to share that particular spot. They ended up in a stalemate, 0-0, but they got 1 point apiece. And now we have to quickly talk about Bayern losing against Freiburg. They were burned out by Freiburg in the German DFB Cup. Really, no one saw that coming between Bayern and Freiburg. But really, I love the fact that Freiburg proved a lot of pundits wrong.
Yes, for Freiburg, for Bayern Munich, I say they've been fantastic all seasons, but at this point in time, I think they are not really getting it right. Letting Nagelsmann leave that team, a man who has not done anything. At some point, you ask yourself, bringing a new coach into the team at this point in time, because every coach will want to come with his own style of play, with his own pattern, with what will suit the team, and that is where it has disrupted the plan of this team. If Nagelsmann was still there, I don't think what happened last night would have happened, no matter what. But overall, for Thomas Tuchel, we can say
welcome to
Germany, and he has been there before, but right now I think he left there, so things has changed. So he needs to work his mathematics out and see how he can hit the ground running.
Well, Thomas Tuchel right now, the Bayern manager right now, at least he has gotten that basketball fire back to the German football there. And now before we go, Chelsea really, even though they are trying to see how they can get a manager, it seems they are in contact right now with Julian Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique as club's new manager. They are looking at both of them. That from 5 nights has been put down to 2. So that job is between Enrique and Julian Nagelsmann. Enrique is far older anyway. Nagelsmann is 35. And you look at Enrique about 47, 48. Both of them looking at getting Chelsea job as manager.
In my opinion, I think they should go for Nagelsmann because of he's young and he's going to suit. He can work with the players we have in Chelsea right now. But for Luis Enrique, although after leaving the World Cup, he said he wants to go back to club duties. And coming to Chelsea, Chelsea is not known for this tiki-taka style of football, and it's going to take it. And he has said he wants to go to a team that has a long-term plan and that will suit his own style and whatever.
And he should go to Leicester.
I don't think he can come to Chelsea. Chelsea should just go for Nagelsmann because he can work with the young players we have there.
Well, we wait to see who Chelsea will be appointing substantively concerning their manager there. Nagelsmann, Enrique, those are the 2 of them are the top being lined on for that particular plum job right now concerning Chelsea, the Blues, although they play goalless against Liverpool in that game yesterday. That will be it on 360 Sport on Trust TV. Well, the Emmanuel Fashimi, thanks for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure.
I'm Adeniyi Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.